So this is an important press release that we are doing from Karnataka Home Buyers Forum, and myself, Dhananjaya, and we have a team of Home Buyers Association representative joined the call today. And we are doing this live session as an important press release that we wanted to communicate to the society, and especially we wanted to communicate to our district commissioner and as well as our housing minister and RERA chairman, who made a public statement yesterday and today regarding some of the important aspects that we have been struggling and suffering from many years. So that's the reason we called for this immediate press release, just as a counter argument or a counter statement from the Home Buyers Association. What the pulse of a Home Buyers Association when we see the response from a respectable housing department minister and respectable regulatory authority chairman, that is very conflicting. So I will just go through one by one. So today agenda item, we fix it into two important aspects. One is yesterday there was a press release or a paper statement made in the leading national level newspaper, where the district commissioner has made some statement around what the problems that they are facing. And I will walk you through with records what the statements are. And with this really a very panicking statement after reading through it from a home buyer perspective. And also we have seen another statement today coming out from housing minister and as well as RERA chairman, statement on RERA complaint redressal system. So these are the two important things I wanted to talk about in this press release. If anybody has any question, please feel free to ask or feel free to reach out to any of the committee members or anybody on Facebook, and we will be more than happy to pick up those questions and then answer in the press release. Okay. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot. Raghu sir also has joined. Deepa ma'am has joined, and people have joined on the call. Okay, so let's directly get into the first agenda of today, which is DC's paper statement on 10 years to clear the files. In the interest of everybody's note, I want to share some important document on the screen. Give me a second. So if you look at the Deccan Herald newspaper, which is published news about Bangalore urban DC needs 10 years to clear case piled up, which is published on January 19th, okay, a couple of days back. And what is it says, I will just read out in the interest of everybody's time. It will take more than 10 years to dispose of cases on land disputes and other issues that are pending in Bangalore urban. Commissioner's Court, going by the current rate and the government data shows, out of these, some numbers, 9,400 has been given, which includes the real estate regulatory authority cases. So this is one of the important aspects I wanted to bring onto the table. Does that mean it will take another 10 years for home buyers to get the justice? This is what the government and the government agencies are talking about to the home buyers, that another 10 more years is what you get a justice in RERA orders, right? This is a very panicking statement that is made in the newspaper by the district commissioner, which is very concerned for us, Mr. District Commissioner, sir. We are very concerned about this particular statement that you made, saying that it will take another 10 years to clear up the mess. So we have already waiting for 10 years for getting a house, and for getting a justice another 10 years in the RERA court or execution of a RERA order is really not acceptable to home buyers community as a whole. Please relook into these issues, and then we request yourself to make an appeal to the respective departments to ensure whatever measures that is required to increase the bench strength or whatever is required, please do it. We cannot wait another 10 years, sir. We cannot wait another 10 years for getting the justice under the RERA. So please understand, RERA has been brought in to have a speedy process and speedy resolution of the complaint. But here, if it takes another 10 years to get our houses or get justice, is really, really pathetic for all the home buyers. This is not at all acceptable to us. So this is one of the important aspects I wanted to touch base. And the second aspect today I wanted to make it a point is on the housing minister and the RERA chairman making a statement. I want to bring that screenshot also onto the table. Give me a second. So this is a screenshot what you're seeing on the screen, which published today in Deccan Herald newspaper again, which says, if you highlight it here, Mr. H.C. Kishore Chandra, who's the honorable chairman of RERA, is making a statement. It is the responsibility of the DCs to execute the order issued by RERA. Respective DCs have to execute the order. We are hearing the cases on a daily basis. It will take some time to sort everything out. This is a statement made by chairman of RERA. And what we are asking the RERA chairman is that if the cases are being heard on a daily basis in a proper, sophisticated, in a timely bound manner, why RERA cases not being able to give justice? And then this another statement which is made by them is DC has to execute the order, which is right. And the DC a couple of days back is saying it takes another 10 years, right? So somewhere as a home buyers community, we are feeling that the ball is getting passed between housing department and the revenue department, where the district commissioner is responding. And if you look at the another statement from the housing minister, this is really, really what we call it as, I don't know whether it makes sense. Both the statement, if you look at the RERA chairman is saying it is the responsibility of the DC to execute, or that is why we are unable to give justice. And then it is going in a timely manner and it will take time to sort out. Somewhere they are trying to accept there is a problem. But here, Mr. Somanda, who is a housing minister, honorable housing minister of Karnataka, they are saying we have tightened the regulation to ensure middle-class families are not cheated. Cases are being cleared at a faster pace. So there is definitely a conflict of statements between both the honorable, respectable position or the officers, ministers on the ground. One person is saying, the minister is saying, we have tightened the regulation and to ensure middle-class families are not cheated. Is that statement is true? Definitely not, because most of the home buyers are waiting for the home for many, many years, and some of the projects, it is almost like decades. And what is the measures the government is taking? Mr. Somandaji, what is the measurement? You are saying that home buyers are not cheated and the cases are being heard at a faster pace. What is the definition of a faster pace? I want to bring onto the table some of the important cases that we are fighting. Especially, I want to take an example of a monthly serenity. There are 40 plus cases that we are chasing from last 1.5 years. And there are more than 60-70 cases in Greens, and there are other projects that have been chasing out. There is no orders being passed by the regulatory authorities or the adjudicating officer under the relevant section. They're supposed to pass the orders. It is almost like 1.5 years to 2 years now, the orders are not being passed. Then what is the statement is all about? It is just a paper statement without any sanity on the ground level, because home buyers are getting cheated on a regular basis. And because of the ineffectiveness, because of the failure of the system, which Mr. Honorable Chairman of RERA is trying to express, the execution of the order needs to be done by the DC, and the DC is saying I will take 10 more years to clear the files in my office. So that seems to be sorry, Definitely there seems to be some problem. Definitely there seems to be some coordination issues. Definitely there seems to be a communication issue between the housing minister, RERA, DC, and something is definitely not working in the system, which is unknown to the home buyers community. And because of the failure of the system, because of the failure of the lack of communication, because of the failure of coordination among the bodies, which is housing department and the revenue department, home buyers are made to suffer. And with that note, I want to open up the discussion with our few more members of the forum, Mr. Raghunath sir, to speak about this and express the concerns about these two important statements. And then I welcome Raghu sir to express the concern on the platform and make a public statement which definitely going to help a lot of home buyers who are trying to watch this, and also press who are trying to listen to this trauma, the press who are trying to see this kind of differences within the Karnataka government. And probably we express our sincere gratitude to media persons to reach out to these respective bodies, to make them work together, to make them help the home buyers to get their houses. That's only sincere request. With that note, I will hand over the mic, digital mic, to our Raghunath sir to speak about few words, and then we'll close this press release. Thanks a lot, sir. You are on mute, sir. Raghu sir, you are on mute. Raghu sir, I think you are on mute. Probably you can take away the mic and try to use the laptop speaker if possible. Not able to hear you, sir. Is the team can you able to hear? Deepa?
No.
Sir, can you please take away the headphone and then speak? Probably that is creating a problem. Headphone. No, sir. I think no. No, not able to hear you, sir. Okay, I think we have some technical issues. Raghunath sir, we are unable to listen to you. If we are able to check, we can find. So with that note, just want to anybody else want to say any other words? Rishi or Lailesh, Sudhakar, Divakar, Deepa, anybody want to add to the?
Sorry, my camera is off. It's not working, but this is
Who's
Rishi.
this?
This is Rishi.
Rishi. Yeah, tell me, sir.
See, this is actually surprising because if you see among the
Hello.
states, Karnataka is
Yeah.
among
Rishi,
the.
1 second. I think Raghu sir, we are able to hear you.
You are able to hear me now?
Yeah, you are able to hear you.
Okay, let me complete a very brief note to everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everybody, all the home buyers, and most importantly, my humblest thanks and respect and regards to all the press persons who are covering this event. Dhananjay sir has already given a preamble about the two articles which have appeared in the papers. I would draw the attention, number one, to the statements made by the Honorable RERA chairman that things are getting speeded up and it is going to take some time to set the things right. That is statement number one. Second is from the Honorable Housing Minister who says tighter regulations have been put in place and things will fall in place shortly. And the third statement is from the Deputy Commissioner who is responsible for recovery of the amounts or the orders passed by RERA. In this August press release and conference, I would like to point out 3 points only. Point number one, as of today, around 6,000 complaints have been registered with RERA Karnataka by home buyers, of which 3,067 are shown to be resolved cases, which means to say 3,000 odd orders have gone as per the RERA Act and rules for recovery as land arrears due, because land is a state subject. The only way the money or the delay compensation or the refund or the exit or the interest can be recovered from the builders and refunded and justice given to home buyers. This is the only existing mechanism as of now. So if we look at the 3067, hardly around 600 and odd recovery certificates have been issued and sent to DC office, amounting to around 245 crores, covering around hundreds of builders. Given the situation, for 600 recovery orders, if it is going to take 10 years, we will have to wonder about how many decades it will take for 3,067 orders that have been passed. And then what will happen to the ongoing under inquiry cases 2,323, which, based on the Honorable Chairman and Housing Minister's statement, they will streamline things, and I am sure maybe in the 6 months' time, those orders also will be passed. So when those orders are passed, the 2023 ongoing hearing cases, if they go to the DC office, then what is the quantum of decades is going to take and get the money recovered? Having said this, I can understand, as a common citizen having experience in the government, the DC office is not adequately staffed with revenue inspectors to summon the builders, identify the assets, and auction the properties where the builders are unwilling to obey or comply with the orders. That is actually option number one. So there has to be a special team that has been set up with the help of the Housing Minister and the Revenue Department to constitute a special task force with a set of inspectors and revenue inspectors to chase and summon the builders. If they are not appearing, submit a report in the court of law that they are willful defaulters and never answering the summons. Point number two is have a forensic team to identify the personnel and the company assets of those builders who are violating and not complying with the orders, and seize their properties and auction them, including the current projects which they are supposedly running with the approval of RERA authority. Now coming to RERA case handling mechanism, we are seeing a steady non-performance from RERA Karnataka on all the complaints. These 2,323 are actually cases under inquiry and hearing from way back January, February 2020. So we are already in 2022, 24 months, hardly less than 40 or 50 orders have been passed. With this pace, with your case load of 4,000, and now with Supreme Court directions, etc., many of the cases are going back to the authority, that is the 3-member authority. So unless you constitute benches, unless you ask for additional adjudicating officers, unless you constitute special benches and ask for additional resources, I would call upon the Housing Minister, Urban Development Ministry, and the Chief Minister to look into this issue seriously and handle the staffing problems and hire additional adjudicating officers, constitute special benches to first of all clear the backlog of cases. The other action point is with the Deputy Commissioner, along with the Housing and Revenue Department, Urban Land Development Department, under the blessings and the directions of the Honorable Chief Minister, to constitute a special task force with special revenue inspectors dedicated to resolving and getting justice for the home buyers. So this is the only way we can resolve. Otherwise, even the cases in RERA may take a decade, and then further on several more decades to even get any relief or remedy from the RERA orders. Thirdly and finally, RERA, the authority is empowered by the Central Act 2016 and Rules Karnataka 2017 to initiate suo moto action if any order, judgment of any member of the authority or the adjudicating officer is not complied by any party. The RERA authority reserves the right to initiate suo moto actions and levy penalties, and also take over the project where it may be deemed fit. So these powers under section 59 and 60 had to be seriously taken up and exercised by the Honorable RERA authority. I am saying all these things in the good interest of the RERA authority, of the home buyers, and to render this system a more just and equitable one and a transparent one, without malice or without pointing fingers. We can make things better together. We are ready to work with you. We have been coming and banging your doors last 2-3 years, giving suggestions and trying to work with you. So I think in a collaborative mode, we can resolve the problems provided there is willingness from the government of Karnataka, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, the Housing Minister, the Revenue Department, and honorable bureaucrats such as the Deputy Commissioners. So that would be the only lasting solution to our problems. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks a lot, sir. I think very well articulated. We do have problems, and what the solutions are very well articulated, Raghu sir. I think hopefully our media persons are watching this, and we'll also circulate this video and suggestions to our honorable Chief Minister, and we'll also circulate this to honorable Housing Minister and RERA authorities and everyone. Please look into the solutions, and we are ready to work with you. Home buyers associations are ready to work with you to make RERA successful for home buyers, and we expect the same response, acceptance of the problem in the statement. See, one thing is, once we accept, yes, there is a problem, then we can sit together and find a solution. See, but looking at the paper statement, it's somewhere home buyer, as a home buyer who is suffering from last 10 years, I feel like is my 10 year sufferings is not at all a suffering for the government. So this is exactly what made this immediate press release to be announced, and then make it very clear. As a home buyer, we are waiting from decades. Please understand, respectable RERA authorities, respectable district commissioners, and respectable chief minister, respectable RERA authorities. Please understand, we are waiting for a house from last 10 years. If you're saying that it will take another 10 years to give us our home or give us our justice, 20 years you are killing our time, which is really not acceptable being a taxpayer of this country. So let's work together for the cause. Let us work together with the solution as suggested by Raghunath sir, or whatever. If you have a solution, we will work together with you guys. We will work together to make the system work for us. We will work together. At least it will work for our next generations. What is the answer that we are going to give to our next generation if we don't work today to make it happen? Instead of that, making a public statement and paper statement saying everything is in fine and everything is fine, when the hard reality is that nothing is fine. This is exactly what we wanted to bring onto the table. Nothing is fine today, but we want to make it fine for tomorrow. Let us work together to make it happen. With that note, any last note from anybody? I think we had Rishikesh who was trying to say something.
Actually, Raghunathan sir captured it
Okay.
pretty comprehensively. The only thing I'd like to add is that, see, we as home buyers, we are in diverse areas, and in each of our areas, we know the consequence. If we don't do a job, we know there are consequences at work. Unfortunately, people who are the cream of the cream, who are in the positions to help citizens, we shouldn't have to go micromanage. This is the problem. You don't have staffing. You don't have this. You don't have that. These are all the regular jobs of the administration and the bureaucracy. So we are not asking for anything extraordinary here. We are only asking them to perform. Kindly, sir, do your job. That is all we are asking, right? Including all of the RERA administration, the DC administration, and so on. So this is not something unreasonable that we are asking for. It is well within laws. It is well within the ambit of their powers to do so. And I think that should, quite often these things come out as we are taxpayers are requesting, asking. Yes, we are requesting, asking, but we are only asking for what people should be doing as part of their job. That is all.
Yeah, makes sense, Rishi. I think very well asked. We request our government bodies to do their job, honestly and sincerely. That's important. And from last 4-5 years, we are seeing some development for sure. But only thing is, it is not giving any results as a common man. Because if you look at the results percentage relief, it is 6.8 crore rupee has been recovered out of 245 crores, and which is less than 1% per annum. So this is really, I would call it as a very, very ashamed to call it as a 1% success rate for any government organization. We want to make it to, if not 100%, at least 70-80% success rate is what at least is expected. And we request the respective organizations to look into this, because less than 1% success rate for RERA in terms of complaint redressal system, end-to-end complaint redressal system, is definitely not acceptable. We request everyone to look into this and work with together, because Land Act comes under revenues and then housing department is different. We request both of you to work together and then make it successful. And as Raghunath was saying, if required, use suo moto. There is an option, and Act provides you the facilities, and Act provides you the powers. And please exercise all those powers which is given in the Act in the interest of the home buyers who are cheated by the builders, and ensure that the justice, the social justice, is also being considered for the middle class families. This is the one request that we wanted to make it on this platform. Request the concerned authorities to work towards it. So anybody else more before we close up? We have 3 more minutes. We made it a very short meeting unless we have any questions from the authorities or any questions from the media persons.
No, not media persons. That you are meeting DC now, sir, on 27th.
So there is one meeting which has been called by the district commissioner on 27th. The official invite and everything has to get to arrive. So once that comes, then probably we'll also have this discussions with respective team, with our team, and then with the district commissioner to pass on this message. And I think under the umbrella of what we wanted to convey to the government is another 10 years we don't want to wait. Another decades for getting justice, we don't want to wait. Let us work together to make the system work for us. Please, all respected government organization bodies, exercise the powers given to you under the constitutional rights, under the Constitution Act, which is RERA 2016, and please take suo moto if required. Nobody is stopping. And the section 71/2 gives a vote to pass orders within 60 days. And I have not seen till now that has been exercised by the respective adjudicating officers. This is one of the important failures in the system. The acts not utilized in a constructive way, in a way that gives justice to home buyers. So we request, whatever happens is a past. Let's work together to make it happen in the future. We will work with authorities. We are ready to spend our time after office hours. We are done with our office work. And after doing our office work and after completing our family responsibilities, we are trying to come together to pass on this message to the governments. Please do your job, which is meant by the government. You are there to do your job. That's your duty, 9 to 6, whatever you call it as. It is your duty to do your job, and we are ready to extend our time to make the system work after our. This is not our duty. This is not our job. This is not paid job. This is as a corporate, as an individual, social responsible citizen. We want to make the system work both for the government, both for the home buyers, as well for our next generations. Because if we don't do it now, our next generation will not. ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಪೀಳಿಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, 10 ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಕಾದು ಇನ್ನೂ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಕಾಯಿರಿ ನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಸಹ ಸಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಆಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ work for us. With that note,
one more thing, sir. One more thing.
Sir, let me conclude because we are already at 8:30. We'll discuss offline and we'll take it forward. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot, team, and thanks to our media persons who are watching on Facebook Live. And hopefully the message is strong and loud and clear. Mr. Respectable DC, Mr. Housing Minister, Mr. RERA Chairman, 10 years of delay for 5 future is not acceptable to us. And then Mr. Housing Minister, please accept the reality. It is not right in RERA. The cases are not being heard in a speeder manner that you are thinking or you are assuming. And we are the victims of the entire system. And we are ready to work with you to make the system work for you. We are ready to make the system work for us. We are ready to make the system work for the entire society. With that note, thanks a lot, and have a wonderful weekend, guys, and spend time with your families. And respected authorities, please wake up and do your job. As Rishikesh mentioned, please do your job. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Thanks a lot, media.
Thanks, sir.